Yeah, bring it. I'll let me know. Right to say, to bring yours. Bring yours.
No, I'm leaving mine. I'll bring yours. You don't? Calista, I'm leaving it recording.
Yeah, Zoom. Need to blend that lip liner, bro.
You find it up?
No.
Come and get it. That's a sweet little snuggie. Because
So you notice that I did not post about this class. And the reason I did not post about this class is because it's a continuation of our last class. So let me get into it. But before I get into it, hey Asante. Everybody, I hope you're doing fine. I hope August is taking you fine. More, I hope you are in class. I've just talked to you, so I hope you're in class. More, if you're in class, shout out. I hope that August is taking you. You know, August is not easy. Sikura is in August, but as long as you're aware, you're good. So are we ready for our class? I'm seeing half of our usual numbers already. Greetings. So can I start with the class? So this is what we learned about last week. This is what we learned about last week. We learned about the digestive system. We learned about there are only two types of energies that have access into the human body. Energy from Nut, it is the spirit realm. and then energy from Geb, which is the physical realm. And then we realize that the lungs deals with energy from the spirit realm, while the digestive system deals with energy from the physical dimension. So even look at their arrangement, guys. The stomach is down while the chest is up. And then we have now the heart. So the stomach is pumping nutrients from ground, from Geb into the heart, while the chest is pumping in oxygen, energy from Nut into the heart. So from above into the heart, from below into the heart. So that is what is even illustrated here, while energy from Nut, the spirit realm, energy from above, goes through the respiratory system. Energy from Geb, the physical realm, goes through the digestive system. And both of them, they pump it into the heart, and then the heart transports it to everyone else. So that is the great trinity that we talk about. And in order to comprehend that great trinity, we want to do that comparison throughout the entire body, to see the relationship that the great trinity has with all the other parts of the body. So that is what we are here to do today. But just me passing through to remind us that this is up, and then this is in the middle, this is down. So energy from Geb into the heart to all parts of the body. Energy from Nut into the heart to all parts of the body. So guys, can I ask a question? Can someone in the comment section type and tell me, what do you think separates? Where do you think the separation happens when you are ingesting energy from Nut and from Geb? Where do you think the separation happens so much that energy from Nut doesn't go to be digested at Geb, and energy from Geb doesn't go to be digested at Nut? Like energy from the spirit realm, for example, oxygen doesn't go. What ensures that oxygen doesn't go into the digestive system, and what ensures that food doesn't go into the lungs? Somebody type it very fast. Nobody's typing it right. As long as I haven't said it correct, just keep typing, keep guessing. The guesses so far are wrong. There's a very unique gadget inside the body that separates. It is a part of the body that separates the mixing epiglottis. That separates the mixing of energy from Nut and energy from Geb. It ensures that energy from Nut, oxygen, goes into the lungs, and it ensures that physical energy, physical matter doesn't go into the lungs. Instead, it goes into the stomach. So both the stomach and the lungs, they do the same work. It's just that the lungs, they work for the spirit. The stomach, they work for the physical. So the person who has said epiglottis has gotten it. Epiglottis, guys, epiglottis. Do you guys know what epiglottis is? It plays it is very important, yet very not famous. So the epiglottis, look for it, you find it. It is the one that ensures Nut and Geb don't mix. It ensures that Nut goes to the lungs, Geb goes to the stomach. That's the epiglottis. But that is not what we are here to talk about. So can you comprehend this trinity? Are you getting that the stomach collects energy from the physical dimension, digests it, and puts it to the heart? The lungs collect energy from the spiritual dimension, digests it, and puts it into the heart. The heart, its job is to now transport good energy to all the parts of the body. It's like a delivery system that transports good energy to all the parts of the body while taking rubbish away to the necessary area. So guys, can you comprehend? Do you comprehend this? Because I want you to comprehend this so much, because this is where the creation begins. Okay, so that is what we learned, and then also just comprehend this also. We are going to come back to this by the time we are done with this class, so that you see these energies in person. We talked about the basic works of the digestive system in relationship to the respiratory system and all that. And then so now today, I want you to see the relationship between all the organs together. Before we proceed into the in-depth of the Great Trinity, let's find out the relationship of all the organs together, starting with the nervous system, famously known as Aries, Asset. That is the nervous system, which is authenticity, self-truth. The nervous system is self-truth. It is a brain with trees branching. It looks like a seed. It looks like it is seed with trees branching off of it, with a branch, and it looks like a tree growing from a seed. So the nervous system is self-truth. And the nervous system, which is authenticity, initiates growth. Without the nervous system, authenticity, or rather growth, without the nervous system, which is authenticity, growth, or rather spring, is impossible. Without your truth, you cannot grow. Anything that lies to you and tells you that if you pretend, you can camouflage long enough, so much that you lose your own identity and you survive. You cannot survive without your own authenticity. You cannot excel using somebody else's identity. You cannot excel in being yourself as a Leo using the identity of an Aquarius. You cannot excel being yourself as a Bantu using the identity of an Nilotic individual. You cannot excel at being yourself as maybe a tall person using the identity of a short person. Like your truth, that is what makes you grow. So without the nervous system, without authenticity, without that self-truth, then now growth and spring is impossible. So look at the nervous system. In this particular picture I've put it, the brain, this is the brain, rooted in the clouds. Let's pretend this is the cloud. This is the brain rooted in the clouds, growing into the 2 arms and then again legs. So authenticity is all about us, you growing. And you grow from where? From your head down, from your authenticity down. Your authenticity is what has the seed inside a seed. Guys, if you ever studied a seed, inside a seed, if you've ever studied anything to do with seeds, inside a seed is its genetic memory, its genetic identity that determines how far it will go, how much it will spread, how wide it will spread. So as human beings as well, you're inside your authenticity, inside your central nervous system, your authentic truth, what you behave as on default setting. That is where spring, that is what initiates you growing. So the ability to grow, represented by the nervous system, which is authenticity, is the one that is responsible for self-truth. So no authenticity, without authenticity, there's no truth. Anytime you go against the natural command of your body, you are farming a desert. You are erasing yourself. The inability to stay truthful to self leads to your inability to stay truthful, meaning your inability to be authentic to yourself leads to immediate cancellation of growth, which is spring. Anytime you're not truthful to the natural command of your body, you cancel your own growth. So every year March, you, instead of being promoted to the next class, you're repeating the class. The inability to stay truthful to self leads to immediate cancellation of growth of spring and the entire spring season. Hence, stagnation and delay. Spring is when you start afresh. So staying truthful to yourself is the same as growing. And it is the same as your nervous system. So if you want to fall into the default setting, just know that every time you're true to yourself, interactions will come. Your ancestors were already here. You will interact. But every time, in every interaction that you come across, you're truthful to yourself, then that is the same as you growing. You don't need to now focus too much on growth. As long as you're truthful to yourself, you're growing. And that is the same as what? Your nervous system, which is your authenticity, which is your, goes still back to your truth. So now that is the second part of the body which we are going to be talking about is the skeletal system. The second organ is the skeletal system. So look, even the arrangement. The nervous system is that, it's like a wire, electricity. Like electric wires that are powering everything. And then, that electric wire is accompanied by what? The skeletal system. Which now gives it shape. You see the way this electric wire is? It's just a structure, but now where it will fold onto is now what is the skeletal system. The skeletal system, which is the support system, is self-value, your self-value. The nervous system is your self-truth. Your skeletal system is your self-value. Now, how valuable is your truth? That is what the skeletal system now is all about. The skeletal system, which is the support system, is there to embody the 7+3 planets. The 7+3 planets, when I say the 7+3 planets, I'm talking about the 7-day planets plus the 3 expansive Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus planets. Heru planets of the week, and then now the Asar planets. Without the skeletal system, embodying the 7+3 planets becomes impossible. Without the skeletal system, without you supporting yourself, you cannot show up in the 7+3 planets. Now, what are the 7 planets? You cannot, without you supporting yourself, you cannot feel yourself. You cannot take action. You cannot communicate. You cannot expand. You cannot love yourself. You cannot rest. And you cannot see yourself. If you don't support yourself, you won't be able to do any of that, the things you're supposed to do within the 7 days. And then if you don't do the things you need to do within the 7 days, you won't be able to do the things you need to do within the 3. You will not transform. You will not expand. Just give me a minute. One minute, guys, I'm coming. moyo wangu wetu nilete Anyway, guys, okay. Haha. So there's a problem, a little bit problem there, but we've solved it quick. So where are we? Yeah. So, without the skeletal system, which is the support system, embodying the 7+3 planets become impossible. Without you supporting yourself, you cannot show up for the planets. You cannot show up for the things that make you gather wealth on this particular planet. So the ability to embody the 7+3 planets, represented by the skeletal system, which is the support system, is the one responsible for self-value. So no embodying the 7+3 planets, no self-value. And the inability to have self-value, the being valueless, the inability to have self-value leads to immediate cancellation of your 7+3 planets. Hence, poverty and even death. Can even be death, but now at the very least of it is poverty. The inability to have value. Remember where your value comes from. Your value comes from your ability to support yourself through the 7+3 planets. What are the 7+3 planets? The Monday planet, feeling yourself, the moon. The Tuesday planet, taking action, Mars. The Wednesday planet, communicating, thinking for yourself, analyzing, Mercury. And then Jupiter, the planet of expansion. Venus, the planet of you loving yourself, the planet of love. Saturn, the planet of restriction. So as long as you're doing the things that these particular planets represent, you are worshipping, you are fellowshipping with this particular planet. And then the sun is there for you to see yourself. So as long as you're able to engage in those particular characteristics, over time you will transform, you will reach Milele, which is the everlasting life, represented by the 3 expansive planets. Uranus, quantum jump, your ability to quantum jump. Neptune, your ability to become an angel, an archangel. Your ability to have an avatar that stays forever. And then Pluto is your ability to transform even the collective consciousness. So when you don't embody the 7+3 planets, meaning when you don't feel yourself, meaning you're never alone, you never take action, you never become useful, you never communicate with yourself in order to attract fertilization of thoughts, you never expand, you're just the same every day. You never love yourself, you never rest. You're just misusing yourself, you're misused every time, now and again, you never rest. And then finally, you never see yourself, you're blind to your own essence. When you do such kind of things, you are not supporting yourself, your skeletal system becomes weak. your essence becomes unsupported. Now, the inability to have self-value leads to immediate cancellation of the 7 plus 3 planets, hence poverty. Now, becoming valuable is the same as embodying the 7 planets, I mean. Becoming valuable is the same as embodying the 7 planets, and it is also the same as the skeletal or support system. All those are the same. You being valuable is the same as you supporting yourself, and it is the same as you showing up for yourself every 7 days a week. From the skeletal system, now look at the matching. We have the nervous system there, then the skeletal system there. Then after you've had the skeleton, now the nervous system and the wiring. You have the wiring. After you have this particular wiring, you get the structure where you put the wiring on. After you've gotten the structure where you put the wiring on, now you cement. And that is what the muscular system is all about, cementing. The muscular, or rather the thinking system, is the intradimensional communication system. This is where Heka is. This is where quantum entanglement is, and this is where Ushirikina is. So the muscular system, which is the thinking system, is the interdimensional communication system. Every time you're thinking, you are participating in interdimensional communication network. Every time you're thinking, you are participating in interdimensional communication network. How in charge are you? How in charge are you? Every time you're thinking, you are participating in the intradimensional communication network, quantum entanglement network, Ushirikina network. How in charge are you? How aware are you? Now the muscular, which is the thinking system, transports intuitive information to be fertilized and made reality. The process of you thinking is the process of you transporting information, intuition, for it to be made reality. And that is the process that creates our reality. The process of people thinking is the process where intuition is transported in order for reality to be made. Now, without the muscular, or rather the thinking system, transportation of interdimensional information becomes impossible. Now, the ability to transport interdimensional information, represented by the muscular system, is the one responsible for turning intuition into memory. Your ability to think for yourself, your ability to transport interdimensional information, your ability to think for yourself is the one that is in charge of turning your intuition into memory. So if you don't think for yourself, you will not even realize which intuitions have turned into memory, which ones have not. Now, the inability to think or remember. Now, what is thinking? Thinking is that interdimensional communication. It is just to remember. Remembering. Remember is 2 words. Remember. Every time you're thinking, you are remembering your ancestors. You are remembering the ancestors that were associated with you. You are getting back into membership with them. And that is interdimensional communication. And every time you get into membership with those particular ancestors, they come into reality through you. You call them by your name. They come back into reality, but as you, through your name. There's nothing like originality of this particular planet. We are constantly cosplaying the ancestors. We are constantly cosplaying the ancestors. So every time you are engaging in thinking, you are engaging in remembering. And that process is what? The process of turning intuition into memory. That leads, now, so the inability to do that, the inability to remember your ancestors, the inability to think for yourself, the inability for you to turn your ancestors that were alive at a particular time to come and be alive with you in this particular present moment, your ability to fetch from the spirit realm into the physical dimension, your ability to turn intuition into memory, leads to your inability If you're not able to do those things, it will lead into immediate cancellation of fertilization for you, which is immediate cancellation of interdimensional communication, hence barrenness. Those who cannot think for themselves cannot remember their ancestors. Remember, when you're thinking through other people, it is other people's ancestors that are anchoring your thought processes. But when you start to think for yourself, it is your own ancestors that are anchoring your thought processes. And the ancestors, they like that. They like when you think for yourself and you remember them. You get back into membership with them. And they become alive through you to help you win on this particular dimension. If you can't think for yourself, you're banking on other people's ancestors. Do not worship idols. Worship no other God before yourself. Don't bow to outside idols, outside entities before you bow to your own image and likeness. So the inability to think, inability to remember, inability to turn intuition into memory leads to immediate cancellation of fertilization, or immediate cancellation of interdimensional communication, hence barrenness. You now don't glow. Your ancestors, they give you glowing points as you remember them. You get glowing points as you remember them, because now there's no version of you that will ever exist that is original. All versions of you that you try to embody, your ancestors already passed through it. It's already a path that has been laid. So on this particular path, I always say it is like temple run. As you walk through it, you upgrade. And what is the upgrade? What do you pay for that upgrade? Your ability to remember, your ability to think for yourself, your ability to turn intuition into memory, to turn your ancestors into reality through you. Now, to think or to remember is the same as to transport information through dimensions. And it is the same as the muscular system. That is all the muscular system does, which is the hands. And that is the Gemini energy over there. So up to that point, we've done three. The first three, which is the plantation, the ones in the plantation season. We have Aries as the initiator of spring, initiator of growth, and then we have Taurus as the support of that growth, and then we have Gemini as the one that adds flesh to that truth that is supported within. So all this happens during the planting season, which is March, April, and May. Now, as we continue to June, now the Great Trinity, we enter into the Great Trinity. That is the planting seasons we've finished. Now we're going to the Great Trinity, which is now the harvest. Now the respiratory, which is the breathing system, is solace, it is privacy, Cancer. The respiratory system is all about privacy. What happens when you are alone? The respiratory, or rather the breathing system, harvests self-love. So when you are alone, you are supposed to only be harvesting self-love, guys. Oh my God, if you are alone and it's not self-love that is coming to you, you need to work on it. When you are alone and it is not self-love that is coming into the picture, you need to work on it. So the respiratory system is the breathing system, which is solace and privacy system. The respiratory, which is the breathing system, harvests self-love. Without the respiratory, or rather the breathing system, harvesting of self-love is impossible. So to be alive is to harvest self-love. Anything that is alive is capable of harvesting self-love. Now, anything that has issues breathing has issues harvesting self-love. Anything that has issues with their respiratory system has issues with harvesting their self-love. But as long as anything is breathing in and out, it is harvesting self-love. Self-love is available for them in the atmosphere, for them to breathe in and out. Think anybody that dies, self-love is no longer available for them in the atmosphere. Remember, timelines favor different species, different seasons, different people. That is the same as the oxygen in the atmosphere. It keeps camouflaging to favor certain people as it vomits certain people out. So the moment somebody stops breathing in, it means that the entire essence that they are a representation of, the love for that particular essence does no longer exist in the atmosphere for them to breathe in. So now they cannot be alive. But anything that is capable of breathing in and breathing out, you still have a business here. Your oxygen is still in the atmosphere. The free oxygen for you is still in the atmosphere. And if free oxygen is still for you, available for you in the atmosphere, it means that the planet still loves you. The collective consciousness still has business with you. The collective consciousness still needs you, because anything it doesn't need, it becomes toxic to, and it stops supporting. Now, without the respiratory system or the breathing system, harvest of self-love is impossible. If you cannot breathe, you cannot have a self-love. So those who don't breathe, they don't exist in a territory where it is possible to harvest self-love. So now, respiratory system, again still, the ability to have a self-love, represented by the respiratory, or rather the breathing system, is the one that is responsible for privacy and solace. So now, without harvesting self-love, no privacy. Without harvest, you can't be alone inside yourself and obey your own inner authority. Because people that provide for you own you. Anytime you don't have self-love, you don't harvest for, remember, harvest starts from this cancer energy. This is the one that introduces self-love, that introduces harvest. So if you flop here, there's no season for you. If you flop at Cancer, you flop in Leo, you already flopped in Virgo. So now this is the beginning of harvest. If you are poor here in self-love, you will not be able to accumulate any harvest. If you don't have any harvest, you will not be able to be alone inside yourself. You will not be able to be independent. To be independent is just for you to be alone inside yourself. You are the only one calling shots inside yourself. For you to get that gift of being able to be the only one that calls shots inside yourself, you have to have harvest. People who are hungry have no loyalty to self, because they are loyal to the people who are providing for them. So the inability to be alone in private, whenever you are alone, like you are the one who is calling the shots, the inability for you to do that leads to immediate cancellation of self-love harvest, hence slavery. Anybody that doesn't have a self-love is automatically signing a slavery contract. Some people will be like, maybe I can just not have a self-love and stay neutral. There's nothing like staying neutral. The moment you don't have a self-love, you're signing a contract of being a slave. What is being a slave? Even when you are alone inside your bed at night, you are not the one calling the shots. That's how you know you are a slave. Somebody else is in charge when you are alone. So there are people who are like that. And when being alone, you're supposed to be alone fully. You're supposed to be the one who is calling the shot. That is how you win in Cancer energy. But when you are alone and other people are the ones who are calling the shots, other people are the ones who are telling you what to do, what to feel, then that is slavery. And that is what you get for your inability to harvest. So being alone is the same as harvesting self-love. Anytime you harvest self-love, you are signing the contracts of independence. Anytime you harvest self-love, you are signing the contracts. Spiritually, you're signing the contracts of independence. So being alone is the same as harvesting self-love, and it is the same as breathing. You've never seen two people sharing, like for example, right now, me, I'm drinking with this remote, with this. You've never seen two people having straws sharing oxygen, like, let me breathe this a little bit, you breathe. Oxygen is totally a private affair. It's not even like food that we can sit here and eat our Ethiopian meal. Oxygen is a private, totally a private affair. Whatever goes on in the respiratory system is privacy completely. Now, I just want to keep going back so that I can show you how these things are moving. Remember, this is the wiring, the nervous system, the wiring. The nervous system is the wiring. Then we have the support now, how do you call it when you're building a house now, the sticks, the timber that you put to give the house structure. Now that is the skeletal system. And then when you're building a house, after you've put the timber, or you now put mud on top of it. Put mud on top of it. So like just now smearing to give it shape properly. That is what the muscular system is all about. Now after the muscular system, we have the breathing system, the respiratory system, which is now making everything alive. Love. Love is now making the authenticity alive. Love is now making the support alive. Love is now making the muscular system, your self-thinking alive. The muscular system alive. And this process of harvesting love is what transport that love that has been harvested is now transported to the circulatory system, which is now the piping, the transport system. The circulatory system, which is Leo, is the transport system. It is the one that now empowers the entire building with piping that delivers food, delivers beautiful things into every house, into every household. So the circulatory system, which is the love distribution system, is what it is what the body creates and becomes. It is the results. It is the one that determines what the body creates and what the body becomes. The circulatory, which is the love distribution system, is self-expression and creativity in building. How you express yourself and how creative you are is determined by how you transport the harvested oxygen and the harvested nutrients. The harvested oxygen from Cancer, the harvested nutrients from Virgo. How you distribute them to all parts of the body. That is what determines now what you look like, what you create. And what you look like now is your creativity. The creativity of your ancestors. A lot of people look very interesting on this particular planet. A lot of ancestors are very creative. And that particular creativity, when you look at different people, they look beautiful. Somebody's from South Sudan, beautiful. Somebody's from Kazakhstan, beautiful. Somebody else is from Australia, beautiful. Somebody else is from Chile, beautiful. When you look at the work of those ancestors, they were distributing love differently. Love can be distributed differently. So now the aura that exudes after that love has been distributed, the aura that exudes is now what we call the creativity of your ancestors, the result of their love distribution. Now the circulatory or the love distribution system is self-expression and creativity in building. Without the circulatory or love distribution system, self-expression and creativity becomes impossible. Without circulatory and love distribution system, self-expression, you cannot express yourself, and creativity also becomes impossible. Without that Leo energy, your ability to distribute nutrients and oxygen, love, and positive energy to all your houses. If you cannot do that, then you cannot express it. You become expressionless and you become creativeless. Now, ability to be creative, represented by the circulatory or the love distribution system, is the one that is responsible for what the body creates and becomes. So that Leo, that distribution of oxygen and nutrients to all parts of the body, is the one that is responsible for what the body becomes and what the body creates. How you distribute the love you have when you are alone to all your 12 houses, to how you think for yourself, to how authentic you are, to how you adventure, to how you use yourself, to how you believe in yourself, to how you know yourself, to how you balance yourself, to how you desire yourself, how you distribute all that love that you get when you're alone, and all that positive energy that you get when you do no evil and accept no evil, how you distribute it to all the other houses is now what determines what you look like, what the body becomes, what you become, what your avatar becomes, and what you create. So the inability to achieve results and become, now that inability to become leads to immediate cancellation of your creativity and self-expression. Hence barrenness and creative poverty. When you cannot, listen, the inability to achieve results, when you are sabotaged at the cancer, you cannot harvest love, and then you cannot harvest positive energy at Virgo, then it is impossible for you to feed your 12 houses. And when you don't feed your 12 houses, you cannot express yourself. We will not even know which ancestors these are. You know, it's impossible. It's not easy to tell. Certain people, like their specialty. If your specialty won't be easy to be told, you'll just be like every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. So the inability to achieve results, the inability to become, leads to immediate cancellation of your creativity and your self-expression, hence barrenness. So guys, don't think that when you are alone, if you don't harvest love, you are just fine. No. You are cancelling your creativity. You are cancelling your self-expression. Don't think that when you do no evil and when you do evil and accept evil that you just fine. No, you are cancelling your self-expression. You will not be able to express yourself. Yes, beautiful people are just showing. When you look at somebody's vessel and you look at it is beautiful, it is just showing you that that person cares about the creator, their creator. They care about their vessel. And for you to care about your vessel, you have to participate in the 12 regions of life. You have to feel yourself, be authentic, think for yourself and all that. So when you see somebody who is beautiful, just know they are doing that particular work, even if they are not aware. Even if they don't subscribe to this philosophy. Some of this philosophy are passed down to certain people on default. Certain ancestors, they worked so hard, they did a lot of Heka energy, so much that they left their descendants some of this information on default. So there are people who they're just living their life naturally with the 12 houses aligned, even though they've never heard of any 12 houses. They don't know about it, but naturally their body, their ancestors made sure that they never look away from self-worship. And so that is the reason why we still continue to have beautiful people throughout every timeline. Because certain people, their ancestors pass this thing to them on default and they don't get a rest. So they live like that and they end up exuding that energy. So whatever the body creates and becomes is the same as creativity and self-expression. And it is the same as the love distribution system or the circulatory system. So whatever the body becomes, how you look at people, the way they are, that is, when you're looking at them, you are looking at their creativity and self-expression. That is what people, the way they look at, like, is who they are, is what they are, it's everything to do with how they are engaging. So guys, never think that when whatever you see is not what you see, especially if you have spiritual eyes, whatever you see is exactly what you see. When you know how to read the aura. So whatever the body creates and becomes is the same as the creativity and self-expression of that body, and it is the same as how that body distributes love to the collective consciousness, which is their circulatory system, love and positive energy. Now, look at these three, the trinity that I wanted you to talk to you guys about. We have here, Cancer brings energy from above into Leo, while Virgo brings energy from below, again back into who? Leo, for Leo to distribute. So that is what the Great Trinity is all about. It's all about how to handle the harvest. What we are harvesting and how to distribute it. What we are harvesting and how to distribute it. What we are harvesting and how to distribute it. That is the Great Trinity, which even every society should be built like that. Every society should be first of all built with the Great Trinity of harvesting spiritually, harvesting physically, and distributing to that community. Like, for example, right now we live in countries. Every country, for it to have a foundation of excellence, it must first of all function on the Great Trinity. Harvesting spiritually, which is slab, harvesting physically, which is food, good food, nutritious food, positive energy, and then how to distribute that particular love from the spiritual, food from the physical dimension, into everybody, into every household in that particular country. So even for you to function properly, you must function first of all with the Great Trinity. Harvest love first of all when you are alone. Harvest positive energy, meaning do no evil and accept no evil when you are with others. When you are alone, love yourself. When you are with others, do no evil, accept no evil. That is the first Great Trinity. When you are alone, love yourself. When you are with others, do no evil, accept no evil. And then all that is transported automatically into your heart, circulatory system, and it reaches all your houses. So the digestive system, which is the system that we are focusing on in this particular month, the digestive or the analysis system is responsible for daily transitions of life. So remember, Taurus is responsible for the 7-day transition. We have the 7-day transition of Taurus. Let me not even go back. Guys, you remember Taurus energy, right? The neck, it has 7 bones here. And then we have the 24-hour transition of Cancer, the chest. And then we have the 5-day transition of the digestive system. So this particular 5-day transition is the daily transition. Then we have the weekly transition. And then we have the hourly transitions. So know about the transition. The hourly transitions, which are the 24 hours, is supposed to give you love for self. The 5-day transition is supposed to be do no evil, accepting, doing no evil, accepting no evil. Just doing no evil, accepting no evil, meaning just rooting for yourself. And then the 7 days, you're supposed to be alive and present for your authenticity throughout. So now the digestive system, or rather analysis system, is responsible for the daily transitions of life. Without the digestive system, the daily transitions of life are impossible. If you don't eat every day, and by the way, the vessel already has its own marking scheme. And the 5 bones there are even showing that out of the 7 days, you're supposed to eat 5 days a week, and then you don't eat for the 2 days. But these are things that are far much in memory and far away from the culture that it almost becomes impossible to observe. But if you are capable of observing it, just know that the 5 bones on the lumbar region are representative of how many times in a day you're supposed to be interacting directly with energy in order for you to stay alive. And then about your neck, how many times a day you're supposed to be supporting yourself in order for you to transform. So without the digestive system, the daily transitions of life are impossible. And the daily transitions of life represented by the digestive system is the one responsible for protecting the body from harm. It is the one that is responsible for protecting the body from harm. How your first line of defense is you being able to do no evil and accepting no evil. That is the spiritual hygiene. If you want to have an invisible sword that defends you, do no evil, accept no evil. Somebody say, ask him. 5 days. Heru, the 5 days of Heru. Heru the red one, Heru the Saturday and Sunday and Monday are special days. Like they are for the sun and the moon, mother and father. And then all the other 5 days are for the planets. So the days for the mother and father are for days for worship. Like days for Sunday, seeing yourself. Remember, Saturday is resting, staying away from normal chore, which is also work. You resting is also work. That is also part of work, please. And then on Sunday, you seeing yourself. Visualizing who you are. If you're an Aquarius, you see yourself as an Aquarius. If you're a Sagittarius, see yourself as that. And then on Monday, it's time to be alone. So Sunday you can be with others. Monday you be alone. Saturday you do as the body is commanding. Some people, they confuse it. What does resting mean? Resting means you have a particular routine and then you take a break from that particular routine. Even if that routine is going to the gym, taking a break from that particular routine and letting the body decide. Now every time if you have a routine, every time you've tuned your body that this is what we do, this is what we do. So now on Saturday, you tell the body, okay, what do you want us to do? This is what you're trying to build, this is what you're trying to build. And then on Saturday, you're like, oh fine, I'll sit and wait for what my body wants to do now. You break the monotony. And then on Sunday, you can visualize yourself. And then on Monday, you be alone. So Sunday and Monday, special. Seeing yourself and being alone, special. And then now, the other ones are the ones that also are at the lumbar area. We will get into it deep as we go, but for now, just know that. The daily transitions of life represented by the digestive system is the one responsible for protecting the human body from harm. Yeah. The inability to protect the human body from harm leads to immediate cancellation of the daily transition represented by the digestive system, hence death. So every time you eat food, what are you doing? You're just triggering the do no evil and accept no evil phenomenon. So your inability to do that, your inability to have a system that triggers the do no evil and accept no evil, or that one it will cancel your daily transitions. Your inability to do no evil and accept no evil. will make sure that you're deleted from being able to transition through the 5 planets. And the 5 planets are what? Taking action, communicating, expanding, loving, and resting. Taking action, communicating, expanding, loving, and resting. Those ones will be cancelled if you are not able to do no evil and accept no evil. You will not be able to take action if you do no evil. If you do evil and accept evil, you will not be able to take action. You do evil and accept evil, you will not be able to communicate with yourself. You do evil and accept evil, you will not be able to expand. You do evil and accept evil, not be able to love yourself. You do evil and accept evil, not be able to rest. There's no rest for the wicked. So your inability to do no evil and accept no evil, when you do evil and you accept evil, you're cancelling your daily 5 days transitions. Now, protecting the human body from harm is the same as daily transitions. As long as you're eating, you're protecting your body from harm. People who don't eat, especially when let me just not even tag anything to it. People who don't eat, they are staring at the grave. Look at the children in Palestine. Starvation leads you to the grave. It eliminates your ability to take action. Starvation eliminates your ability to communicate with yourself because now there is no muscles. Starvation takes away your ability to expand, your ability to love yourself. Starvation takes away your ability to rest. People who are starved cannot even rest. They are in pain all the time. So now protecting the body from harm is the same as daily transitions, and it is the same as the digestive system. Now from the digestive system, we have from the Great Trinity. You comprehended the Great Trinity. Energy from above, from Cancer, energy from below, from Virgo, all of them, they come into the circulatory system to be distributed to all parts of the body. And then after that we have now the urinary system. Guys, I want you to look at this urinary system first of all, even just the picture. What can you see from this picture just by looking at it? And I hope you guys can see the picture. I hope that the comments is not... Is the comment sitting on the picture? Just tell me what you look at it. I want to see if there's anybody in the comment section who is aligned with me. There's a lot we're going to learn from here now. What can you see? Even just imagination. Just imagine, like, apart from the typical of kidneys, what visuals? Now, let me tell you what I see and show me if I'm exaggerating or you can see the same thing. So I'm seeing these kidneys, they look like 2 vessels that are pouring water down to this bladder. They look like 2 vessels, 2 beam-shaped vessels that are pouring water here. Can you see it? Because that is what is happening. So, in this particular position, before we even get into this particular education, here we have the ribs. So now the kidneys, they're at the back side of your body, but right below the ribs. So it's almost like they are connected to the ribs. The 12 ribs here. These are almost like they are attached to it, drawing from it. So it's almost like these are filtration points that are getting energy from the 24 hours and then pouring that particular energy to this particular place. Yes, the body is very amazing. So that's why we call the liver the balance system. What is it balancing? How you spend your 12 hours within, how you spend your 12 hours outside. All the emotional recordings of that, all the emotional history of how you spend your 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, all of it, that particular information is stored here. And then look at the womb bowing to that particular now water from the harvest chamber. That particular water, and then now the woman's womb is bowing to that particular water. The memories of how you spend, the emotional memories of how you spend your 12 hours. Hard. So that the woman, you can always remember the emotional memories of how you spend your 12 hours, so that your manifestations, they bow to that particular emotional history. Your manifestations as a woman must bow to your emotional history of how you spend your 12 hours, your 24 hours. So your manifestations must always cater to your emotional needs. That's why it's bowed here. So let me get into the teachings of this. I just wanted to explain that. So the urinary system, which is the Libra-Sobeck system. Your urinary system, which is the balance system, is your truth with the outside world. Your urinary system is your truth. How you relate, how you react to the outside world. That is what your balance system is all about. Now the urinary system, which is the balance system, stores and distributes harvested energies. Without the urinary system, or without this particular balance system, storage and distribution of harvested energies become impossible. Without this particular urinary system, it is impossible to store and distribute harvested energy. So the information of harvested energy is dropped here in order for it to be balanced and distributed properly. So for example, how you spend your day emotionally, for example, from the way you harvest energy, emotionally, you feel a particular way. That particular emotion is stored here. So that it helps when you are interacting with the outside world. The people who deserve your anger, you give them that anger. The people who deserve your love, you give them that particular love. This is there to make sure that how you distribute manifestations to the outside world. Because remember, even me insulting somebody, that is me manifesting. So how you distribute your manifestation in the outside world should mirror how you spend your life in reality. Now, without the urinary or the balance system, storage and distribution of harvested energies become impossible. So the ability to store and distribute harvested energy properly is the one that is responsible for maintaining truth with the outside world. The ability to store and distribute harvested energies properly is the one that is responsible for maintaining truth with the outside world. Your ability to give everybody what they deserve. Those that deserve praise, you give them. Those that deserve gifts, you give them. Those that deserve scorn, bullying, you give them. Now the inability to maintain the truth with the outside world leads to that cancellation of nyash. Remember all this particular energy. All that energy, let me go back to that particular woman. This man, men don't have nyash. So this particular energy here is what is responsible for the swelling of. All this swelling is just symbolic for this particular emotions that is going down here. And by the guys, urine is not a terrible thing. It's a protection. It's protective. Your urine protects. Urine of animals protects them. That is why in the jungle, even animals use it to mark their territories. Because your urine comes out in relationship to how the world treats you. how the world treats you here in the digestive system and in the when you are alone, how you feel when you are alone towards your world, and how you feel, how the world treats you when you interact with a particular energy. This one is stored here to protect you, to keep balance. Your urine is more like your identity. So now, the inability to maintain truth with the outside world leads to the cancellation of your nyash, which is your storage and distribution of harvested energy properly. Nyash just means that you have the ability to store and distribute harvested energies properly. No nyash means that you have difficulties distributing, you have difficulties giving people what they deserve, tit for tat. You have difficulties doing that. Now, tit for tat even with good energy, with bad energy, just tit for tat. Some people, they cannot even do tit for tat even with good energy. Some people, even when you give them good energy, they cannot return it, but they don't have the confidence to do it. So, just having that confidence to give people what they give you, that's what nyash is all about. And if you cannot do that, then nyash goes. So truth with the outside world is the same as proper storage and distribution of harvested energies. And it is the same as the urinary system. You being truthful with the outside world is the same as you properly distributing your harvested energies, and it is the same as the urinary, or rather the balance system. And by the way, I know that it is not visible here, but the woman's womb is bowing to the waters while the man's womb is being held. You see the way a woman holds. I don't know whether there's an image where I will explain it with, because this one I don't think you may understand. Yeah, I think here. I don't know whether this will be visible. So the man's, it's almost like the bladder is hugging the man's reproductive system. While the woman is bowing to the waters, the man is being held. You see the way a woman holds her child, like I have this. It's almost like the bladder is holding the man's reproductive system like this. While the woman is bowing, the man is being held like this. Like. So I don't know whether you can see it here, but you can go check on the internet. It's usually mostly oh, somebody sees it, so good. Sorry. Yeah. So after the urinary system, now we have the female reproductive system. So guys, you're seeing the way we are moving with this thing. All the way from the wiring, and then we have there the skeletal system, the support system, and then the muscle system building up. When we have the muscle system now, harvest above, harvest, transporter of harvest, and then harvest below. And then now the balancer, the one that balances the scale. After harvest, now how do we respond to the outside world? What do we create depending on whatever we've harvested? That is what the urinary system is all about. And after the urinary system, now you come to the female reproductive system there that is bowing to the urinary system, which is the manifestation system. So the female reproductive system, which is Scorpio or Hathor, is the desire system. Now the female reproductive system, which is the desire system, is the exchange of value system. There is self-value system, which is the self-support system, and then there is exchange of value. After now you become valuable. How you exchange that particular value depends on what you desire. The female reproductive system or the self-desire system helps to embody sexuality and creation and beauty. It helps you, it is the female reproductive system or the manifestation system or the self-desire system that helps you to embody sexuality and creation and beauty. Without women, no creation can happen. Without women, no beauty can happen. Without the female reproductive system, no sexuality. Now, without the female reproductive system or without that particular self-desire system, embodying sexuality or manifestation or beauty is impossible. If you don't desire yourself, it's impossible for you to look beautiful. Hawezi bahatisha, guys. And just like I was saying, there are people who they are very beautiful, but they don't know they're beautiful. That is different from desiring yourself. If you see somebody who is beautiful and they don't know they're beautiful, it's because they are desiring themselves. They desire themselves, but they don't know they desire themselves. People desire themselves even when they are poor, even when they're in the village, even when they are ignorant. The 12 areas of life, the 12 fields of life, you can never erase them. They can only become anonymous, unknown to the owner. But they can never be erased. And most of the time, sometimes the owner, they own them, and they don't even know they own them because they are created with it. You know what you're created with, whether you know you have it or you don't, you still have it. So without you being able to desire yourself, you cannot, beauty is nothing you can think of. If you don't think you are worthy, then you are not worthy. There's somebody that said that the good news is it can be true and you don't believe it. No, I don't even know how to organize this. I don't know. He said that the good news is that you can think it's true and it's false, but it will now appear false because you think it's false. And then you can think it's false, but then it's true, and then it appears false because you think it's false. So you can think it's false. Alright, okay, I don't know how to put that, but whichever. Somebody was trying to say that the way you look at things is the way they appear. So you can be very beautiful, but you don't think you're beautiful, and because you don't think you're beautiful, but truly you're beautiful, now you're not beautiful. Because what you believe is what goes. What you believe is what goes. You can be very beautiful, but you don't believe that you're beautiful, and because you don't believe that you're beautiful, now you are ugly. Because you don't believe, not because it's true that you're not beautiful, it's just because you believe it. Somebody said that. And also, you can be ugly, but you believe you're beautiful. And because you believe you're beautiful, and it's true that you're ugly, but now, because you believe you're beautiful, now you're beautiful. That's the good. And he said that is the good news. The bad news is you can be very beautiful, you don't believe it, and the outside world starts seeing you as ugly because you don't believe it. That's the bad news. Now the good news is you can be very ugly, but you believe that you're very beautiful, and the outside world see what you see about yourself. Specifically, that's I think what the argument was, that the outside world, they see what you see about yourself. So what you believe, for example, let me say you can believe that your teeth, you can have very white teeth, but because you are a low self-esteem person, you just believe that your teeth are dirty, your teeth are brown. And then over time your teeth become brown, not because they were supposed to be brown, but because you believe it. Where your energy grows. So what you believe becomes. So the good news is you can believe something negative about yourself and it was never true, and it becomes true. That is the bad news. I'm glad I figured this out. without wasting time. The bad news is you can believe something about yourself that was never true. Something negative about yourself that was never true, and it becomes true because you believe it. And then the good news is you can believe something about yourself positive that was never true, and it becomes true because you believe it. So that is the good news and it's the bad news. Good news and bad news in one. So go use it whichever way. So the female reproductive system, which is the self-desire system, is the exchange of value. The female reproductive or whatever, the self-desire system helps embody sexuality and creation and beauty. Without the female reproductive system, without your self-desire, embodying sexuality or manifesting or even beauty becomes impossible. So if you don't think you are attractive, if you don't think you are beautiful, you cannot manifest, you cannot be beautiful, and you will not manifest anything. The ability to embody sexuality and beauty, represented by the female reproductive system, is the one responsible for exchange of value. If you cannot embody your sexuality and your beauty, forget about exchanging value. And what is sexuality and beauty? As per 12 houses, as an Aquarius, your beauty is in your self-knowledge. As a Pisces, your beauty is in how you believe in yourself. As an Aries, your beauty is in your authenticity. As a Taurus, your beauty is in how you support yourself. So the ability to embody sexuality and beauty, your personal essence, is the one responsible for your ability to exchange value. Now, the inability to exchange value leads to immediate cancellation of beauty, sexuality, and manifestation. So the moment you become valueless, then no beauty, no sexuality, no manifestation. Now, exchange of value is the same as embodying your sexuality, beauty, and manifestation. And it's the same as the female reproductive or the self-desire system. So self-desire has everything to do with sexuality, guys. People say last. They are lasting, last. People are afraid to watch sex more than they are afraid to watch war. That's how you know there's something crooked about our timeline. People are afraid to show their children sex than they are afraid to show their children war and bombs. But anyway, I don't have a child, so I don't judge. Everybody to raise their child the way they want. The integumentary and the adventure system is the one that comes after. Now the reproductive system, the female reproductive system. So the integumentary system, now here we are getting into adventure. After that, self-desire. The integumentary or the adventure system is research, wisdom, and exploration. The integumentary system or the adventure system gives worldview and outside visuals. Without the integumentary or the adventure system, exploring visuals is impossible. So, guys, there are certain arguments. This is just me introducing you to a thought process that is just an hypothesis, not proven null or whatever yet. There are certain books that are starting to suggest that this is the firmament. That the integumentary system is the firmament. It is the one that creates a barrier between the world within and the world outside. So without it, it is impossible to explore between dimensions. It is impossible to move between dimensions. Without the integumentary system or the adventure system, exploring visuals outside of yourself is impossible. Now, the ability to view the world represented by the integumentary system. The integumentary system is what makes you able to view the world. It is the one that creates a barrier between your own internal environment and the external environment. So the ability to view the world represented by the integumentary system or the adventure system is the one responsible for research and Akashic records. So what is Akashic records? Information that has been here since the beginning of time. And remember, everything is here at the same time, in the now. So everything that has been here since the beginning of time, in order for you to access it, you have to research. You have to adventure, you have to walk through into the outside world, from your own inside world. The inability to research and explore leads to cancellation of the work. The inability to research and explore leads to cancellation of access to world chai, world view, world news. If you're not able to research and explore your world view, the world chai will be cancelled from you. Your access to world chai will be cancelled, and your access to visuals will be cancelled. And when you cannot see the world outside of you, then you shrink and you don't expand at all. So the inability to research, guys, the inability to expand and research. Get out of your village, travel, move. If you cannot do that, you will not be able to access world chai, world view. And without world view, you cannot expand. Now, research, exploration, and wisdom is the same as world views, world chai, and world visuals. Anytime you research, you are accessing world views, world chai, world visuals. Anytime you explore, anytime you access the Akashic records, you are exploring world views, world chai, and world visuals, which is the same as the integumentary system. So even the body, the integumentary system is the hair, the skin, the nails, things you can see, the things that you can be in contact with from the outside world. It's almost like the firmament. What separates you from the outside world? What separates the world within from the world outside? Is the firmament. Okay, this is just an hypothesis, but to me it makes sense. The books that are suggesting that the firmament is the skin, is like the auric field, I am moving with them, but that is what separates. Your ability for the firmament to be there is what gives you ability to explore the world. Without the firmament being there, then you will not be able to explore the outside world, the visuals of the outside world. And then from integumentary system, now we have the hormonal system, which is the self-use system. So the hormonal or the self-use system is public nakedness. Ability to be perceived. Everybody comes here to work. Leos come to love, distribute love. Cancers come to feel. Virgos come to analyze. Do no evil, accept no evil. Libras come to balance. Now your ability for a Libra to be perceived as a balancer, that is you being useful. And the hormonal system or the self-use system is what is public nakedness. Your ability to be seen as you, as an individual entity outside the collective consciousness. And it is important because we come here to work, and it is this particular hormonal system that enables us to do the work we come here to do. To be used for the greater good of everyone, of the collective consciousness. Now the hormonal or the self-use system induces renewal and rest. Without hormonal and the self-use system, rest and renewal is impossible. If you don't use yourself properly, if you're not useful, you are misused. And when you are misused, you don't rest. And when you don't rest, you can't renew. Now the ability to rest and renew, represented by the hormonal system or the self-use system, is the one responsible for public life. The ability to rest and renew, represented by the hormonal or the self-use system, is the one that is responsible for what? For public life. So the ability to self-use when you can't be useful to yourself, kujituma. The inability to be perceived. The inability for you to be your naked essence leads to immediate cancellation of rest and renewal. So if you are a Leo, Your essence is to distribute love. Your inability to embody that cancels your rest, your ability to rest and renew. So you'll always be tired. Not all tiredness comes from people being busy. Some people are tired because there's no rest and renewal because they're not using themselves. They're not being useful. So no self-use, no participation in collective building, no harvest, and no harvest, no rest. When you don't be useful, it means you are not participating in the collective building. We all come here to collectively build. It doesn't matter whether it's the president. People come with different roles, but all of us is just one person trying to build the entire planet. So if you're not willing to participate in that building of the entire planet, then your salary will be no harvest, no rest, no renewal. And then finally, the second last, we have the male reproductive system, which is the Aquarius or the Set system. The male reproductive system is metaphoric for information, knowledge, or divine rulership. Sperms are just information, knowledge, divine rulership. The male reproductive or that knowledge system helps you embody your role in the great circle of life. So intuition is what you want to become. And then knowledge is how to become it. So while the female reproductive system carries the intuition, what she wants to become, the man comes with how now to become it. Which is now that information that you need, the knowledge you need, the divine relationship you need. As a woman, you can feel like you want to be a CEO, but now the male reproductive system is now you learning how to become that CEO. Which women did not want to do that job for themselves. That's why they created men to come do that for them. The how. Women knew what to become, but now the how and walking the path. The building of the pyramid. Okay, I have the drawing of the pyramid. It's like being a designer. These are the designs, the illustrations. Now make it a reality. So the divine feminine has the illustration. The divine masculine's job is to make that particular illustration easily a reality. So the male reproductive, and this is the reason why, before I even continue, this is the reason why the ovum is just one. What the woman wants to become, but then the information are many. Like, okay, the woman wants to become a CEO. So now there's one sperm that comes with information like, okay, CEO of shoes, CEO of fashion house, CEO of a farm, like different information. And then the one that convinces the woman the most, like the woman is like, okay, CEO of a farm. The information that convinces the woman the most is the one that goes. But then what to become, what the woman wants to become, its content is just one. How to become it can be different, main different roles, and that's what the sperm is all about, and that's what the male reproductive system is all about. So the male reproductive system, or what the knowledge system, helps you embody your role in the great circle of life. As a Leo, you knowing what Leo is helps you embody your role in the great circle of life. As a Sagittarius, you knowing what a Sagittarius is helps you embody your role in the great circle of life. That is the exact same thing that the male reproductive system does, the sperm. It helps the plan of the female to be put inside the physical dimension in a particular pattern. Without the male reproductive, or rather the self-knowledge system, embodying your role in the great cycle of life becomes impossible. When you don't know yourself, you cannot reach milele. And as I taught on OnlyFans, guys, this is where destiny swapping happens. Without your self-knowledge, it is impossible for you to embody your role in the great cycle of life. So anybody that cuts off your self-knowledge, the miseducation of the Negro, the destruction of black civilization, the destruction of schools. Anybody that cuts your self-knowledge cuts your role in the great circle of life. They make your role in the great circle of life to become impossible. Now, your ability to embody your role in the great circle of life, represented by the male reproductive system, your ability to embody your role in the great circle of life, which is also represented by your self-knowledge, is the one that is responsible for upgrading you. Every time you do your role as a Leo, every time you do your role as a Taurus, every time you do your role as a Scorpio, now that is what is responsible for you upgrading. The inability to upgrade your body leads to immediate cancellation of your role in the great circle of life, hence mediocrity. If you cannot embody your role in the great circle of life, you cannot upgrade. If you cannot upgrade, you fall for infinite mediocrity. Now, embodying your role in the great circle of life is the same as upgrading your body. And it's the same as the male reproductive system, which is your self-knowledge system. Embodying your role in the great circle of life is the same as you upgrading your body, and it's the same as your self-knowledge. Finally, we have the immune system, Pisces, Heru. The immune system, which is the self-belief system, promotes and advertises the body. This is what promotes and advertises you. This is what makes you seen, visible in the collective consciousness. This is your reception. I'm always saying, do you have a receptor for it? Do you not have a receptor for it? So things you have reception for. It is your immune system that determines what you have reception for and what you don't. Positive or negative. So the immune system or the self-belief system promotes and advertises the body. The immune system, which is the self-belief system, transitions you into infinite support system. It is Heru that becomes Asad. So it is that your self-belief, which is your immune system, that becomes your ultimate support system. Your ability to defend yourself in small things will lead to your ability to support yourself in big things. Without the immune system, which is the self-belief system, self-promotion or self-advertisement is impossible. You cannot interact in the collective consciousness if you don't have an immune system. Immune system is what now, when we go to the market, when you want to buy mangoes in the market, you find a pile of mangoes, you are choosing. That process of you choosing, what are you looking at? The immune system. And then people pick the healthy ones, they leave the dying ones. It's the same with the immune system of human beings. Without your self-belief, without your immune system, self-promotion or self-advertisement becomes impossible. Your ability to gain infinite support represented by your immune system, is the one responsible for promoting and advertising you into winning on earth. So your ability to gain infinite support, like when you become the mango that everybody wants, the mango that everybody is ordering, like, I want that mango, to be able to become that, it is your immune system. Your self-belief. Among human beings, it is your self-belief. This is the one that is responsible for promoting and advertising you into winning. Your inability to self-promote, leads to immediate cancellation of your infinite support system, which is your wealth, hence poverty. If you cannot advertise yourself, you cannot promote, you're probably sick in the hospital, where anything that messes with your immune system messes with your ability to self-promote. And anything that messes with your immune system cancels your infinite support. Once you get sick, it is your pockets that will suffer fast before anything else. Now, self-promotion is the same as gaining infinite wealth. And it is the same as the immune system, which is the self-belief system. You self-promoting is you being working on your immune system. Guys, please. Don't think that you can pay somebody to defend you. Just self-promote. Vote for yourself to win. Vote for yourself to win. In a room where everybody else is, vote for yourself to win, because that voting for yourself to win is what is going to gain. It is the same as you gaining infinite wealth, infinite support. Only those who promote themselves gain support. Those who don't promote themselves don't gain support. It's as simple as that. So self-promotion is the same as infinite support, and this is the same as being immune to diseases. Disease. You self-promoting, you voting for yourself will always put you at ease and away from disease. Disease is you now being uncomfortable and discomfort in your life because of the decisions you've made. Ease is you being comfortable and satisfied in your life because of the decisions you've made. So now what brings that ease is self-promotion. Choosing yourself, voting for yourself always. So, up to that point, questions please. Yes. And that finding your village is what we mean by infinite support. Up to that point, any question? You're welcome, my dear. So you can see the build up, the way the body is built up. From the nervous system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, the urinary system, then we have the female reproductive system, the integumentary system, the hormonal system, and then finally the male reproductive system, and then the immune system. I think I wrote the immune system wrong, but it's immune system, guys. I think I wrote it. And when you see spelling mistakes or misplacements of words, guys, sometimes just remind me. I'm seeing I wrote the immune system wrong, but it's okay. So yeah. Which one specifically do you want to see at Nyango? Because I've just gone through them as you were talking. And the one that I wanted us to focus on most, because this is where we are. This is where we are. And we have a trinity here with this and this. So today I've explained to you the trinity. Respiratory system harvest from up, digestive system harvest from down. All of them, they transport into the circulatory system that distribute to everyone. Yes, Sundays and Mondays are days you should fast. And if you're moving, your body will naturally take you there on its own with time. So guys, that is the class that I had for you guys today. I wanted to just show the entire body first. This system. So Leo is distributor of energies. Yeah, you can say that. Leo distributes energy to the houses inside. Yeah, while Libra controls the distribution of energies that go outside. Remember, any energy that you access outside, whether you are advising someone, whether you're stealing from someone, whatever, any energy that you access, that you channel towards outside, it has to pass through this particular Libra area. It has to pass through. It is those waters. Your emotions are the ones that determine what you dash outside, how you interact with people. And so that particular emotion should be guided by that filtration that happens from the 24 hours and the digestive system. So how you analyze and how you see yourself from the inside when you are alone, and how you analyze how your emotions from those are the ones that are stored at Libra, and then Libra controls Scorpio. Libra controls manifestations. When Libra is strong, you can deliver through your vagina. When Libra is weak, cesarean. When Libra is strong, your vagina can deliver manifestations. When your Libra is too weak, your manifestations, you have to be helped to manifest. You can't manifest alone. And you can't manifest through the portal of life. You have to be cut open. Yeah. So, any question, guys, before I leave? Are you guys feeling the way August is hard? August is very difficult. Sikurahisi in August, but I love it. We will still survive. Yeah, it's more here. August is not easy, but girl, survive, man. And check on your friends, your loved ones and stuff. I'm tired of the time. I just want to fight it all. Just finish your to-do list, babe. Finish your to-do list. In August, just finish your to-do list. And then, whatever you do, and ask for ancestral help, please. Whatever you do in August, finish your to-do list. Don't fall for the pursuits. So hard. Oh, more is in here. So I'm going to post, I think the focus that I did. I told you August is all about the demons that tempt you to shrink. August is the time where you're supposed to be doing no evil and accepting no evil. Spiritually hygienic. And when we say do no evil, especially towards yourself, whenever you don't finish your to-do list, whenever you don't finish your to-do list, you're doing evil to yourself, guys. Whenever you don't give yourself the things you promised you would, you're doing evil to yourself. So August will tempt you to shrink away from, especially achieving honor, the things that you are afraid to start. August is the best time to start it. You're going to honor. Let me tell you what August is, guys. August is like a wave that is just starting. And this wave is going to blow so high for those who catch it and ride on it. But this wave, it seems so scary that a lot of people are not going to jump in. So in August, if that thing that you've been scared to do the whole year, or that thing that you've always wanted to start, August is the best time to start it because there is a wave. And if you ride this wave in the beginning, it's going to be so hard. But this wave is going to blow so big. that you're going to regret not starting whatever you need to start right now. And that thing that you're going to start is going to be very scary. The whole of August, especially up to the 24th of August, you will see zero results. Or zero, like, true motivation. Like you'll be tempted to quit or something like that. But continue. Just ride the wave. Ride this wave. Don't chicken out. Yeah, don't chicken out. Ride this wave of August. And instead of shrinking, because it is a witchcraft to make you shrink and not expand, while it is there to make others that are demonic to expand instead of shrink. So now as you, somebody who is being baited to shrink, if you defy and you do the opposite, you're going to be rewarded twice as much as well. If you get my language, please do the necessary. You know what I'm talking about. Do the necessary. Jump in and you're going to not regret it at all. Until 20, yes, until 24th. Until 24th of August, that's when we now finish the Nini. So any questions you guys have, please? Any questions you guys have before I leave? I feel so exhausted. I feel so exhausted. And I'm going to see you guys again on Wednesday. And please show up for your to-do list. Yeah. Take it easy on yourself. Just finish your to-do list. And take it easy. Finish your to-do list and take it easy. And don't be afraid. Even if you are unsupported, don't be afraid. Keep going. You know, more dreams that want to be remembered. This thing of, oh, I forget my, I don't know what to tell people who are worried about forgetting their dreams. I don't know what to tell you. Because you shouldn't be worried about forgetting your dreams. It's normal to forget dreams. And dreams that want to be remembered can never be forgotten. So please do, Nani, start your blog now and go. This is the time. Start it and keep going. Even if you start it and it doesn't go anywhere, keep going throughout August. Keep going and don't stop. After August, you'll see some openings start. Yeah. Because if you don't initiate right now, you're going to wait until next year again. I thought the time to start. Start what? You know, what are you talking about starting? They're starting to plant. And then there is just you, just always just doing your own things. It's not like at everything that now you need to do, you now wait until. So you want this person to wait, all podcasts should be started in March. That type of mentality cannot take you far. If you're somebody who you think that now, oh, if you want, I want to start a YouTube channel, now I have to wait until March. Oh, I want to buy a new cloth, now I have to wait until March. Oh, I've always wanted this ride, now I have to wait until, no, God, man, just live life as a normal human being and be aware of the energies. There are usually those things that certain people usually just have that you want to do. And then it reaches a time that you are tempted to jump. And right now in August, there's a particular attempt for you to jump into expansion. Because remember what you did? In July, there's that supply. In August, we are harvesting. And after you've harvested, now that particular harvest is going to be distributed to bring you new loyalties. So new loyalties. You're supposed to be planning and moving towards those particular new loyalties that you're supposed to be getting. And then you distribute. So whatever you've been afraid to start, that you know is necessary for your expansion, please don't hold on it long. Whatever you've been wanting to start that you know requires your self-love and you supporting yourself, that Venus energy is now. Now is the time to do it. Yeah, obey your inner authority. What about working with planetary energies, and that's why? Yeah, now if you have the reason why you want to wait, just, I'm talking about people who have been if you feel the push to start something, if you've been feeling a push to start something that is expansive to your consciousness, you're going to feel that push even harder in this August. You're going to feel that push harder this August. Even fear towards that push is going to be more towards in this August. There's a fear that's going to tempt you into walking away from it. But deep down, you know very well that you need to take that step in order for you to expand, realistically speaking. So those are the things I'm talking about. But if you're somebody who you organize your wedding, you know very well you're supposed to get married in June, then get married in June, you know. Also, you have your own organizing. You have your own organizing that you do. If you're organized in a particular direction, don't listen to what I'm saying. You just keep on with your organization. This particular information that I'm putting out is for people who have been feeling a push to expand towards a particular direction, but they've not been feeling self-love enough. And there's some fear that has been trying to talk them out of making that move, but they know beyond reasonable doubt that that is the move that they need to take to go towards where they want to go, to expand into what they want to expand into. Those are the people I'm talking to. This is the time to take that move, because there's an energy of opposition that is deliberately preventing people from taking that move. So if you become among the ones who win against that energy of opposition of Perseus, the son of Zeus, that killed Medusa, if you become the Medusa that is not chopped off, that is not killed, there's a reward. Guys, for every battle you win, there's a reward. Sisi wenye tuko filled na confusion, be alone a lot. Anybody that is walking in confusion, be alone a lot. If you cannot be alone, it means you are not independent. If you are not independent, you are still depending on someone. Prison break. You have to plan a prison break. You have to be a Moses. Take Israelites out of Egypt. That is a must. That prison break of Moses taking Israelites out of Egypt is a must. So this person is saying, I'm alone. So you are confused, you are undecided. There's a decision you need to make that you haven't made, or confusion either comes from not knowing which direction to go. And not knowing which direction to go comes from having two directions that are calling. So dissect this particular direction realistically, soberly, and then pick one direction. And why do I keep dreaming about my ex, please? Because you're not over your ex. They are still in you when you are alone. Everything that you experience in the dream world are the things you experience when you are alone. Yes, all one. So when you are alone, you still feel them so much that you open the firmament for them to access you. So if you are not over them, I don't know. I don't know what people do when they are not over people. I don't know what people do. You can play your game the way you want. I think there's so many things you can do when you are not over someone. It's either you get over them or you try get them back by just giving them what you know they want. If you can't give them what you know they want, just get over them. Because breaking up with people usually is because somebody cannot provide what somebody wants. How do you solve that? Provide what that person wants. If you cannot provide what that person wants, get over them, leave them alone. Leave them alone and stop thinking about them in your inside world. When you stop thinking about them in your inside world, they will not appear anywhere in you. I'm telling you, as within, so without. Whatever you meet inside is what you will meet outside. So just let them go if it's worth it. If it is redeemable, try redeem it. Yeah. So guys, allow me to go. And then I see you again on Wednesdays. India, my babies and mothers. My babies and my mothers. August is hard, but let's keep going. Yeah. August is hard, but we are soldiers. And I'm just saying August is hard, not to tell you that, oh, I'm suffering so much. No. I'm just feeling the heaviness of how it is. There's a lot of pressure when it comes to especially showing up for the things that I usually show up for very easily. It's no longer as easy as I'm always showing up. So that's why I'm telling you, it's not that tough for people who are aware, but you can gauge the toughness. You can see that it's a little bit dragging a little bit. But that energy is only going to last up to 24th of August. And then after that, we are safe again for 1 month before we enter into other circuses. So allow me to leave. Let me go breathe after this, and then I sleep, and then I see you guys again on Wednesday. Yeah. Lavenda, asante sana my dear. See you guys. Bye. Nawapenda nyinyi wote.
see